Hello, everyone. Welcome back to yet another political episode. We are back today, and we're going to be talking about Minnesota. And it's been, I've been waiting for it, but I've been curious to know how Minnesota went and did compared to 2 years ago. Obviously, county-wise, Donald Trump did absolutely great. And I'm actually very surprised with the results. Minnesota has been the topic of conversation after the said election because, this is Tim Walz's state. And many thought that Tim Walz would save Kamala Harris and get her up to a solid Democrat win. And I can tell you right now, no, that's not going to be the case. In fact, Minnesota will probably not go solidly Democrat ever again. I'm going to say it that right there. Because the numbers are shifting right every single year. And I don't think Republicans can necessarily win Minnesota, simply unless it's like a very down ballot race, like the Attorney General, I think is winnable, the state auditor maybe, the Secretary of State, but major races, the governor's race, the Senate races, I don't think that's possible. Because you have your eyes and ears right on these two lovely little dark blue counties right here in the Twin Cities. Hennepin and Ramsey counties are probably the reason why Minnesota will always be Democrat. As long as you'll see, Hennepin and Ramsey counties are dark blue, meaning unlike Cook County, which voted for Kamala Harris by around 60% clip, Hennepin and Ramsey counties went to Kamala Harris by a 70% clip. And keep in mind, half the state, lives in these two counties. Hennepin County has over 1 million people. The only county in the United States, the only county in Minnesota to have over 1 million people. Keep in mind. While Ramsey County has almost 1 million people, it's around 900 million people, probably 990,000 people, not 900 million, Not starting this video out with a good start today, but you get what I'm saying. So, comparing results, very similar to the result. Actually, the county alignment is exactly the same. Taking a look at, for instance, the 2022 Minnesota State Auditor's race, you'll see Republican Ryan Wilson performed kind of the exact same as Donald Trump, but he actually did way better. He was actually so close in flipping the state. In fact, the margins are a little off. But I can tell you right now, sure, Donald Trump did better in the rural areas compared to, as you should know, compared to Ryan Wilson. For example, he won Isanti County by over a 70% clip, and along with Meeker County by a 70% clip. While, Ryan Wilson won Rock County by a 70% clip, but no one lives in Rock County. The guy who designed the new Minnesota state flag is from Rock County down below, but he's the only guy that lives in Rock County, I guess. Only notable figure, but no one even knows who his name is. I mean, is he a renowned figure? But the reason why Ryan Wilson did so good in this race was right here, guys. Hennepin and Ramsey counties. Look at that. It's in the 60% margin color. While the Hennepin and Ramsey counties were in the said 70% margin color. You don't have to, it doesn't matter how much counties you win, it doesn't matter how dark red the countryside is, it doesn't matter if Ryan Wilson or Donald Trump here in this case is carrying most counties that are dark red. It really doesn't matter. You'll see Ryan Wilson couldn't get Coochin County up below the 60% range. It was like 59% Republican. Donald Trump was successful of getting this county that, by the way, was carried by Tim Walz in 2018, keep in mind, which rejected Tim Walz in the presidential race by 60%. wow. I think the people of Coochin County were embarrassed by voting for Tim Walz in 2018. But I'll tell you, things have changed 6 years ago. A lot has changed 6 years ago. Countryside, which like a lot of counties in Minnesota back in 2018, rural countryside was still allegedly in favor for Democrats. We're now going in favor for Republicans this time around. So a lot has changed. What became known as the Democratic Farmer Labor Party of the DFL had an influence of farmers. That's why Coochin County, Swift County down below, has been a long-time Democrat stronghold. No one lives there but white, rural, Christian evangelicals, and they were strongly Democrat. I can guarantee you probably Swift County still has a large Democrat registration there today, but right now it seems it's 60% in for Republicans. It's a Republican stronghold, basically, as you can completely see. So as you can tell, the reason why Ryan Wilson did so well in Minnesota in 2022, 2 years ago, was just look at the turnout. Like, overall, this race was supposed to go to Republicans. Like, look at the polls. I mean, it was predicted to go Republican, along with the Attorney General's race. We didn't do so well. I mean, we overestimated. Democrats were just, like, getting people out to vote like crazy. But look at that. Ryan Wilson even won the 2nd district. And as you know, this has been a now reliably Democrat hold ever since the counties of Goodhue County, even Wabasha counties have been going to the 1st district. But yeah, you got Dakota County and parts of Washington County, part of the Twin Cities area. And that's going to make it very difficult for Republicans to win. But guess what? Ryan Wilson won this district. I mean, could he win it if we nominate him to go against? I mean, I guess he has to be from there. I don't know where he's from. I know where he's from. He's from Hennepin County. He's from the 3rd district, ideally. But I don't know if you can cross the congressional lines to run in that race, but you get what I'm saying. But what did we actually predict, in other words? What did we actually predict? We predicted, we were kind of off, because this was our said result. We predicted Winona County would go Democrat. We were right about Winona County. In fact, Winona County didn't vote Democrat, and usually does. It's a Democrat hold, and it didn't vote Democrat at all in 2022. It didn't vote Democrat at all. So we were like, okay, there's a great chance that Winona County, which barely went to Joe Biden by less than a percentage point, would go for said Republicans. What ended up happening? Yeah, that ended up happening. I mean, Winona County went Republican. But I'm trying to think. I'm going off right now. But what it ended up happening was we were wrong about Nicollet County. We were wrong about the county of Blue Earth, which surprised me, because if you guys are not aware, Mr. Walz, Governor Walz, Tim Walz, Tampon Tim, comes from Blue Earth County. He is from the city of Mankato. And Mankato, Minnesota, is this college town sort of community. It is a part of Nicollet, too. That's why I had Nicollet go for Harris, because then again, little bit of that city of Mankato is a part of Nicollet County. Then again, there's also North Mankato, which is right up here, and that's fully in Nicollet County. But yes, Tim Walz has a big reputation in Nicollet and Blue Earth counties. And the fact that he lost those counties, that's huge. That is absolutely huge, and that's absolutely bad, because, let's see, taking a look at the governor's race in 2022, Tim Walz performed decently in Blue Earth and Nicollet counties. Look at it, like, the governor's race was not at all what it was supposed to look like. I mean, looking at these results here, let's see. Blue Earth County went to Tim Walz by 7 points. And you lost it 2 years ago. And I get Tim Walz is not front of the ticket, but he has great representation of that ticket. Overwhelming representation. He's from Mankato. Blue Earth County. He's, of course, people love him there. 2018, let's see how he performed in Blue Earth County there. I can guarantee you he did pretty good. You'll see Blue Earth County swung to him even more compared to the 2018 shift, 2014 gubernatorial election, of course, where Tim Walz improved the margin compared to Mark Dayton's record. But what we're seeing right now is that Tim Walz ended up winning the said state by 7 points in 2022 and lost it 2 years later. It was a close election. It was absolutely a close election. Let's take a look at those numbers. Minnesota election NYT. Yes, it was very close. Like, take a look at Blue Earth. Yeah, actually, Donald Trump won this county by a point. Like, I tell you guys, Tim Walz is beatable now. Tim Walz is beatable. If he runs, and I know I just said this. I just said it, that, oh, Minnesota. It's 70, as long as Hennepin and Ramsey counties go 70% in for Democrats will always win. Yeah? Well, let's just keep in mind, it's possible that Republicans can break it. I doubt it. But Tim Walz, if he were to run for re-election again today, he would win. He probably would win, but he would have to become like Kathy Hochul, and the turnout would have to crash down to the 60s, and you got to get like someone like Tom Emmer, and that kills me to say that. I know a lot of people don't like Tom Emmer, but we cannot stop. We need to stop nominating doctors and CEOs and football players for the governor's race and whatever race. This is the Minnesota GOP needs to up its game. But I'll tell you, Tim Walz's career is not what it was like back in 2023. He basically destroyed it going on this vice presidential run. He absolutely tore it apart. But am I saying Democrats still win? Well, it really does depend. A lot will have to happen for Republicans to win Minnesota. A lot will have to happen. Tim Walz will have to be caught with a scandal. Well, I'll tell you, Tim Walz probably has a lot of scandals. This guy is the lying chief of the United States. Lying chief, governor's mansion, guy in the government mansion that just sucks up all our taxes. But this guy's absolutely beatable. He absolutely is. I know this video is long because this video is about my state. And I love my state, despite it being just a cancer hole. And I'm just going to use that word. I just popped in my mind. It's just a cyst hole. Absolutely a cyst hole. And I still love my state. I love the people. I love the farms, and I love everything I don't love that the government gives me. The government's dumb here. But I still love my state. I'm proud to be a Minnesotan. That's why I don't think we'll win in 2026, but we can try our best. We can at least keep the needle trending towards the right. And I'm glad it's not like 2008, but I don't think we'll ever go that blue ever again. But yeah, you'll see Donald Trump made great performances in suburban Anoka County. Anoka County, keep in mind, this is 4 points for Trump. This is huge. This is a Twin Cities county, guys. The third biggest county in Minnesota. That's probably why Donald Trump won this race within 4 points. Donald Trump didn't win. This is why Kamala Harris won this race within 4 points. This is the reason. Right here. It's huge. Absolutely huge. Anoka County. I also want to take note on Carlton County. If you are from Carlton County, and I know there's not many people from Carlton County, it is a college county. It does have college students in this said county that go to the University of Duluth in Minnesota, right up here. A lot of them reside in Carlton County. There are also a lot of community colleges in Cloquet, but Carlton County voted Republican for the first time, and they are still coping about it because they haven't put it in. But as you can see, Carlton County is in. 95% and onward, it's Republican. 2-point win for Republicans for the first time since 1928. This ends a 94-year voting streak for the county. My grandmother or grandfather wasn't alive to see, well, they're still alive, they're not dead, but they were born during the time where Carlton County was blue. Sure, they were born elsewhere, but they're Minnesotans. In fact, they were born in they're from and reside in Duluth. So, then again, they raised their family, raised my father, during a time that neighboring Carlton County was strong Democrat. Like, look at this. 2012, 61% for Obama. 2008, 62% for Obama. Went down a little bit, which is interesting, because you'd think 2008, and that could be because of the white evangelical radical sort of thing, but that didn't like Obama running, but I'm not saying that's the Republican Party at all, but you'll see these numbers are solid blue. 1992, solid blue, despite being 52%. That was thanks to Ross Perot, by the way. 64% in 1988. 64% in the Reagan landslide. 70% in 1968. That was because of Humphrey. But you get what I'm saying. This is history. And you don't think, other than just the college students that live in Cloquet, that go to the University of Duluth, there's no real reason for Carlton County to be a Democrat county. There are a lot of registered Democrats in Carlton County. I want to believe 60% or upper 50s are still registered Democrats. But a lot have voted Republican. A lot of them are actually conservative. The registered Democrats that from the Clinton era, and they don't like where the Democrat Party has gone. Sure, Carlton County voted for Tim Walz. In fact, it voted a lot for Tim Walz. But I'm telling you, Tim Walz sacked his career while running for vice president because he lost in Blue Earth County, a county that I was sure he would pick up and win. Need to cover color in this map. He lost Blue Earth County, which was, of course, his county of residence. I mean, he resides in the governor's mansion in Ramsey County, St. Paul. But other than that, I mean, yeah, he resides in St. Paul. But the origin of Tim Walz was this Mankato guy, this Mankato people-loving, hunting-loving, fishing, average Minnesotan from Mankato, Minnesota. That was his origin. Mankato is what made Tim Walz Tim Walz. Okay? And it went for Trump! My goodness. I don't know if Mankato actually went to... I mean, this is a longtime Democrat city. I mean, it's a college city, but the county, Blue Earth County, went to Trump. Like, it did in 2016. I mean, like, yeah, it's a Democrat city. 2024, I think it went down like 52%, which is horrible. Because keep in mind, never mind. They already got 2024. Yeah, Donald Trump, Harris won the city 55.46. Doesn't surprise me. But, I mean, he even pulled a more decisive. No, absolutely not. Because look, you got to count the third party votes. 11.33% in the county of Mankato, in the city of Mankato. 11, a double-digit vote for third party. Now, give that maybe to Tim Walz or separate it. Maybe Tim Walz, give it to Clinton a little bit. Maybe she would get over 55, 56%. Well, I can tell you, 55% is good, but for someone that is from the city, who ran as this Mankato guy, a county that stood solidly for Tim Walz all the way through, voting against him for the first time in his political record. That spells doom, guys. So, this is, of course, what are the results? Well, Trump won Carlton. We were wrong about that. Trump also won Nicollet and Blue Earth. We were wrong about that also. 3 counties. We once again underestimated Donald Trump because we were going in thinking that, this is Tim Walz's state. Tim Walz. He comes from Minnesota. Not only that, he comes from Blue Earth County, and he has very big recognition, very long time recognition in Nicollet County. So we were saying, those counties would go to him. Carlton County, though, we were tossed up. I ended up giving it to Harris because really it would be an overwhelming historic win if we won in Carlton, and we did. But yeah, this county's voted for Democrats since 1932. So it would be probably a blue moon if that happened. We won the race in the Attorney General and the Auditor's race, but those were minor races. Besides, Walz carried the county of Carlton County by over 5 points in 2022. So I was like, okay, now it's the highest turnout out of all the races in 2022 in Minnesota. So I was like, okay, we're just going to give Carlton to Harris. And we were wrong. We were wrong, of course, but you know what? As long as we succeed and win, that's all I care about. So, a lot to talk about in this election. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. And as always, I'll see you all in the next political episode.